So today I'm going to tell you guys how I do my twist outs and my braided crowns. So I'm starting off on freshly washed hair. I will link all the products that I used in the description box below, but basically I wash my hair, deep condition it, put some leave-in conditioner in, and then I put it in these 2 buns so that it would dry just a little bit. I had to go out and do stuff and go to work and things like that, so it's stretched out, but it's still damp. So the first thing I'm going to do is section off a very narrow part in the front of my hair, going from ear to ear. It doesn't have to be super straight, but generally my parts are pretty straight. And this is just going to make for the crown. So I'm just adding some of my leave-in conditioner to the front section, even more than I had before, and putting it all through. And then I'm also going to take some Eco Styler gel, and this is just going to keep our hair really sleek and held down until we are able to take it out. So I'm just smoothing this on the outside of my hair, which is the part that's going to be shown. The rest of it is going to be braided up, so I'm just going around the perimeter. Then I'm going to start from my left side, and I'm going to take 3 strands, and I'm just going to start braiding it from the left all the way to the right. The braid that I'm doing is a Dutch braid, meaning that the strands are going outwards rather than inwards like a cornrow. I didn't want to go too in depth in this video, but I'll make a separate video on how to Dutch braid. Here it's not really easy to see, but basically I'm taking a small section of hair, adding it to the braid, and braiding that small section into my braid. So as I'm going on, I'm picking up more and more pieces of hair and adding it to the braid. It's important to make sure your hair is pretty detangled before you start, because it's easy for it to get tangled when you keep adding in more and more hair. But I don't like to brush through my curls or comb through my curls because it takes away some of the definition, and as you'll see in the end, my hair is very defined. So this is just the way I do it. At this point you can add more gel or edge control to your edges if you want. I just tend to wait until the day that I actually take out my twist so that it can be all polished. I don't really care too much about how it is when I'm just installing the twists. Now I'm working with the back section of my hair, and I'm going to go ahead and part it into 2 sections so that I'm able to moisturize the 2 sections. They're not very dry, I just like for my twist to be very fluffy and moisturized, so I go in with extra moisturizer. I go ahead and rake my fingers through to make sure there are no tangles, and then I'm going to add just a small amount more of that leave-in conditioner that I used earlier. Mainly to my ends because that's where my hair gets the driest. Now I'm parting my hair for ease, but I'm not actually going to make my twists in these 2 big sections. So what I'm going to do is basically start from the back of my hair and make my twist going up, because that makes it that much easier to work with. So on my right side I'm going to go ahead and part off about the bottom third or so and twist up the top half. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the left side. And now we can get started with the twisting. So I have my back section here, it's all moisturized, all ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead and split that into 3 sections. I'm not going to keep that part down the middle because it's so hard to get rid of, and it looks like you just have twists on both sides of your head and not all around your head. So what I like to do is make 1 small section in the back and 2 on the side. Each of these sections are going to be 1 twist. So So I already started, but it was kind of hard to see, so I'm starting on this twist closest to you. And I'm going to add a little bit of my curl enhancing smoothie. I used to not like this product because I didn't know how to use it, but now I do. You only need a teeny amount. And you want to put it in your hands and rub it together before you apply it to your hair. So I'm just running this through the entire length of my hair, focusing on my ends, and this is going to act as my styler. I'm going to make sure there are no tangles in my hair before I start twisting. So I'm going to start at my root, split that piece in half, and each of those two halves are going to be half of my twist. For the back sections, it doesn't matter for me which way I twist, but the important thing is that I'm rotating each half before twisting it. So I hold it, rotate it, and then twist it. Hold it, rotate, twist. And that is what's going to keep your twist very defined after you take them out. It also keeps it from unraveling. So I have 3 in the back now, and I can continue with the rest of my hair. I'm going to go ahead and repeat those same steps for the next row, and so I end up now with 6 twists in the back. Now I'm going to work with the front 2 sections. Since my crown is going to the right side of my head, I'm going to put a part on my left side so that all of my hair kind of falls to the right side. So this part, for me, I'm going to make it a little bit neater because that's where my part is, and I'm just going to section off the bigger side first so I can go ahead and work on this small side on the left. So I'm just going to clip that section off, and I'm going to add a little bit of my curl enhancing smoothie to that small section and do the same thing. Now what's important about the front section is that I like to have my twist moving away from my face, and that way it ends up framing my face much better. For some people this doesn't matter, but since it's on the left side, I want it to move away from my face, so I'm going to twist away from my face. Make sure you twist very tightly at the root so that it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't puff up. Although sometimes I like a little puffiness at my roots, it gives me a little volume, but whatever you want. So I'm going to do the same thing where I rotate each half strand before twisting them around each other. This will give you the maximum amount of definition. And once you get all the way to the end, you're going to kind of spiral it around your finger. Just kind of twirl it. That just helps my twist from unraveling. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. All of these steps are optional. So, yep. There it is, twisting. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the right side. But since it's on the right side of my face, I'm going to twist that side away from my face as well. So I'm twisting towards the back of my head. Now that all of my twists are in, I have about 10 twists in my head. And I like having the one at the crown of my head, right at the top, bigger than the others because it helps give me more volume, and I really like having big hair. So I'm going to go in with my oil mixtures, just a whole bunch of different crazy oils, and of course it wouldn't be a tutorial without me spilling something. So this is a mixture of olive oil, coconut oil, jojoba oil, and grapeseed oil. This just helps to seal in all the moisture and to keep my hair very shiny in the coming weeks. Alright, so now, ready for bed. I take my silk scarf. It's a square, but I'm going to fold it so that it becomes a triangle. Yes, a triangle. And I'm going to take the flat side, the non-triangle corner side. That's going to go over my head. And I'm going to take the 2 pieces and tie it in the back of my head. So this just keeps my hair from rubbing against stuff at night and getting all frizzy, getting all messy. I want my hair to stay nice and shiny until I take out the twists. So I'm just going to plop this on my head, tie it all nice and snugly. Doesn't really matter how you tie it. Some people use bonnets also, but I just go ahead and use this scarf because my hair is too big. So this is about 3-4 days later, and I'm getting ready to take out my twists because I have a performance in like 20 minutes. So I'm just adding, this is when I'm taking out my bobby pins. I had bobby pinned up my hair. I bobby pinned the twists to my head so that I could wear a scarf over it when I go out. Maybe I should have showed you guys that, but you know, we live and we learn. I'm just adding a little bit more oil so that my hair doesn't get all nasty and frizzy when I take it out. And I'm going to start from the bottom. I know I'm going a little fast, but I'm going to slow it down in a minute. I'm basically starting to unravel my twist from the bottom, and then I'm going somewhere in the middle and just pulling the two pieces apart. I'm kind of rushing, honestly, but depending on how I'm feeling, sometimes I will untwist all the way from the bottom, and sometimes I will pull it from the center. So as you can see, I'm untwisting the bottom first, and then I'm going back up to pull the rest of it all the way out. My friend was with me, and she was like, I want to say hi. So this is my best friend, Tuan. I talk about her a lot on my channel. So here it is, slow down. I'm pulling out the bottom so that it doesn't get tangled. See how my hair just kind of unwinds on its own? That's kind of what should happen. Your hair should kind of just bounce out like corkscrews. See, I'm untwisting the bottom, but then I go kind of halfway up and just kind of untwist the rest of it too. But my hair kind of it's just used to it now. And your hair will get used to it too the more you do it, you know what I'm saying? There it is. Pull. Check that. You guys see that shine? Yes, bling. Yes, bling. Yes. Alright, so now I'm starting to separate. Basically, I'm taking each little section of hair that was twisted. I'm going to find where it naturally separates, and a hole naturally came into my hair, yes. I stuck my finger through that hole and pulled the two pieces apart. That is what I do throughout my whole head. If you do it too much, you'll get frizz. I'm one of those girls that likes frizz. I like frizz in my hair. It makes it look more natural. So I will go in and separate for days. I'll separate the same strand like 1,000 times. That's how I like it. See, this is one strand, but I'm separating it once, twice, three times, 4 times, 5, 6. It's just great. The more you separate, the frizzier it gets, but the bigger your hair will be. Okay? So I'm just gonna do that all over my head. If you want more defined twists, I suggest doing smaller twists and not separating it as much. But I like a really big natural twist out. So now I'm taking my pick and I am picking at the roots of my hair, meaning I'm sticking my, what is that called? Oh my god, what is that? Oh, my pick. I just said that. I'm sticking my pick into my roots. I'm not pulling it all the way through to my ends. I'm just fluffing the roots themselves. This helps to create body. It lifts my roots up and makes my hair look nice and big, which is what I love. You can also use your fingers or a comb, but I just find a pick to work very, very, very well. Now I'm just going in with my hands and pulling out the pieces that I still want to separate, because as you can see, my hair is pretty well separated. I just like having it even more separated. There's my braid. I added some edge control so it's looking all neat and shiny. I've got body, I've got definition, I've got shine. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye guys.